Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between IdrA and Draco here on Colloseum. Bottom left-hand corner is the Teal Terran player IdrA, and in the bottom right it is the Polish Protoss player Draco. Alright, so TVP here from bwreplays.com. Very excited for this one. IdrA, one of the best American players in the scene back in 2009, which is when this replay was played, and Draco, probably the best Polish player from this era of StarCraft, according to his Wikipedia page. Alright, so bottom right spawn versus bottom left spawn. Colloseum is a very weird map, but a lot of games were played on it back in the day, but not in the current day because it's so very, very weird. And SCV scouting here, you're probably wondering what this creep is. There's a sunken colony here that doesn't interact with anything, just to make sure that you can't be cannon rushed here, because if you get cannon rushed here, especially as a Zerg player, it is very hard to break. And sometimes in ZVZ, your opponent will put a creep colony here and turn it into a sunken colony, and that's kind of hard to deal with as well, but not as hard to deal with as a cannon rush, that is for sure. Okay, so no proxies here, no cannon rushing, because that is a gateway here from Draco. Scouting the wrong way, but that's going to be just fine. And nothing too crazy, man. I think things are good here. I think everything's kosher. IdrA hasn't been mad at anything yet, but I mean, we're a minute and 45 seconds into this match. I really don't necessarily see how that would be the case. There would something crazy, or there would be something crazy happening, but that's okay. Not all matches can be super fast. The cheese, right? The cheese is the fast stuff. And I really need to get in there and maybe do another cheese compilation one of these days. I've had some requests in the comments, and just so you know, I do read every comment anybody ever makes on the channel. So if you want to get my attention, that's a pretty decent way to get me to talk to you. The other way is to join the Discord server. There's a link in the description. Or, I don't know, if you just search Falcon Paladin Discord on the Google machine, it'll pull up an invite there too. I have a never-expiring invite out there floating among the waves of the internet that I put out there like 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe just 2. And I think they tell you not to do that, but I really don't see the downside. So, it hasn't hurt me yet, anyway. Regardless, 2-gate opening here. No expansion quite yet, which I believe the SCV is aware of. At least he went up. Yeah, he checked for a Nexus here and didn't see it. Technically, there could be an expansion up here for, I mean, it'd be a weird place to take a Nexus, but you never know. But I guess the second gateway is an indication that, in fact, there's not a Nexus anywhere. It's checking for hidden tech, hidden pylons in the top right here. I love this probe Overwatch spot. He's just hanging out. He's like, yes, I see everything. I see your factory. I see you got a barracks you're not producing many units out of. But I mean, honestly, what else is this going to be? You could open with a lot of Marines. You can get a nice little bio timing open here in TVP, but it's, I don't know, not super popular and not much of a thing that I've seen in my casting experience. But I tend to cast the longer games anyway. So if a Terran player happens to win in the first 7 minutes with a bio push, then I probably didn't cast it. It kind of sits in that weird medium spot where it's not short enough for cheese and it's not long enough for me to cast it as a regular daily cast here on the channel. So if that's a thing, you're not really going to see it here. Alright, choices for Terran. What do we do first? Well, siege mode and a siege tank. Okie doke. Factory going right for the siege tank play. Got ourselves these Dragoons pushing out. They know what they're dealing with here. It's going to be a single Marine behind a wall. There's not a bunker. There are no additional Marines either. This could be really problematic for IdrA all of a sudden. Singularity charge is almost done. I mean, that's what this one base opener lets you do. You get range out really fast. Like, all right, we're on a timer here. We're going to try to kill as many supply depots as possible before the siege tank with siege mode shows up. Jumping on those SCVs. Oh, repairing the SCV. Nice. Oh, then he just comes up on the high ground. Oh my gosh, that's brutal. You got to get over here, though. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, that's such a good spot. But then he abandons it. He abandons the spot. Okay. Strange, but all right. We can work with this, I guess. There's your siege mode, and now the Dragoons kind of have to get out of here. Alright, so that went pretty well for IdrA. I don't think he lost a single SCV. He didn't lose his supply depot. He didn't lose a tank. He's got an expansion up before the Protoss player does. So I think he feels pretty good about this, honestly. He's going to mech it. And as we've seen, the way you beat mech... Although that's a pretty fast engineering bay. And no second factory yet. I might be speaking out of turn here, but... I'm assuming IdrA's going mech. And the way that you defeat mech is you out-expand it, and you make a lot of trades that maybe aren't in your favor, but you have more money and you have more bases, you can afford them. That's exactly what we've been seeing in the Protoss versus Terran wins on the channel forever. That's how this works. So, wow, okay, that's a really fast Stargate from Draco. Like, either he... yeah, so like either he's going super fast carrier off of 2 base, or that's some kind of a weird scout play. Which wouldn't be too bad, except for the fact that turrets are coming up. It's like he smelled it. He's like, alright, I feel like this is going to be a Stargate play. Get some turrets up, you know, in case a Corsair or a Scout shows up. This timing is so weird to me. Is it just to get rid of observers? I don't know what else he could be building missile turrets for. That dude, a 6-minute fleet beacon. You crazy? You're a crazy person. Draco, the Polish Protoss player. Triple P going for it right now. And IdrA, he doesn't know, right? That is really well located. If you're going to scan, you're going to scan here. You're going to scan here. Maybe you're going to scan up here. Oh, see, there's a scan. Oh, he got it. He got the Stargate with his second scan. But he doesn't know about the fleet beacon. So what's he going to do? Honestly, Goliath's in production. Love that stuff. Maybe Charon boost like now would be great. There's no other reason for there to be a Stargate this early, right? Triple Puppet Factory is going for +1 attack. Dude, our first carrier is in production at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. That is a super, super fast carrier build, man. And I love that Draco has a ground army. He's not just like, boy, I sure hope my carriers can win. And I sure hope the Terran player doesn't show up with ground forces and kill me before the carriers arrive. No, he's got some Dragoons. It's a smart build. And it's siege tanks. I don't... IdrA. Oh, maybe he assumes it's an Arbiter. Oh my gosh. What if he thinks it's a fast Arbiter play? And that's what the turrets are for. Killing Arbiters that are coming in to kill him. Again, early. Early on those turrets if that's what he's worried about. But I don't think he smells carriers here at all. He's making vultures, spider mines, vehicle weapons, more tanks in production. Carrier capacity is getting researched from Draco. IdrA, buddy. This might not go particularly well for you. Next time I hear a scan, I'm going to try to get up there and show us IdrA's vision. Okay, so now Charon boosters are on the way. And he's making 2 Goliaths, and a tank, and a vulture. That could still just be enough Goliaths to handle Arbiters, right? Dude, this carrier's like, I got this. We're fine. We're going to move across the map here and win real fast here at 8 minutes. That is a lot of tanks and vultures, though. He's making 3 Goliaths at a time. So one of these scans, I think he must have caught this fleet beacon, because otherwise I don't know what he's doing. So he sees what's up. He recognizes this is carriers. I am making 3 Goliaths at a time. I'm getting Charon boost. I think he saw the carrier poke its head in here. Still getting vulture speed. Like, I guess there could be some zealots for you to handle, but I guess the speed is easier, makes it easier to lay mines and get rid of these Dragoons, but alright, big time hit. Good sound is what it is. That's a lot of tanks, man. Okay, well, the Dragoons have decided we're engaging with this, even though there are a bajillion tanks. And then they back out because there are 6 more tanks back here to worry about. Continue retreating. Thanks. +1 attack there on the siege tanks. Not working on any further upgrades here at the moment. Third base getting set up for by Draco. And I assume we're going to get a third base out of IdrA, but 2-base push feels like a 2-base push. Zealots in production, but again, the vulture count pretty high. I mean, IdrA seems prepared for everything right now. It's got the carriers, got tanks. Spider mines are out, vultures cruising around. Oh, that's not a wall. Okay, so probe death for 1 vulture seems like a pretty fair trade, honestly. But the low ground siege tanks with the Goliath providing high ground vision is just brutal. It is an absolutely brutal, brutal play. Alright, well the carriers are like, well, if the Goliaths are all over here, we'll come over this way. You know, all 3 of us carriers. Yeah, the Goliaths show up, getting big-time body hits here. I mean, yeah, the carriers really have to get out, and they do. Oh, that tank. I'm not sure what he was doing, but IdrA kind of left him out to dry there, unfortunately. So now IdrA has the high ground. And as Obi-Wan would say, don't try it, Anakin. Don't try it, Draco. I have the high ground. But, you know, it's kind of going well. I gotta say here for Draco. He does shove IdrA off that top way. 121 to 88 total supply. Draco has a lead, but again, you'll want a lead if you're playing against a meching Terran. If you don't have it, you're in a pretty bad spot. Still carriers in production here, but again, it's not mass carrier. Ooh, a shield battery. A shield battery. IdrA trying to set up over here, but man, the carriers are just in the right place at the right time. Goodbye, SCVs. We knew thee well. And IdrA still trying to crack this nut. He's like, if I can get in here, it's just going into a choke is real dangerous. No matter what race you are, you really don't want to be doing that. Just you have this big wide area to handle that sort of a thing if you're the defender. Spider-Mine's getting picked off right now. Draco at 260 supply, IdrA at 320. IdrA looking okay, man. He's like... Spider-Mine's getting some hits on these Zealots. Oh, friendly fire Spider-Mine hit. Never good. Zealots really focusing the Goliaths, though. Whoa! Suddenly, the Goliaths are retreating. The tanks are gone. Another round of Zealots shows up. And it's 129 to 83 supply. Dude, Draco won that engagement pretty handily. And there's IdrA coming through. You're really good at making carriers. Thanks, says Draco. It's a very useful talent to have, says IdrA. And IdrA's out. No GG for you. Draco's your winner. I mean, rage quit. Yes, rage quit a little bit early on the quit there. I know IdrA lost most of his army, and yes, Draco's on 3 bases, but even being on 3 bases against a meching Terran doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win. Like, IdrA had some abilities to get stuff done here. The carrier control by Draco was great. Like, let's not take anything away from him. I don't think he lost a carrier today, which is fantastic. And what's funny about IdrA's comment is that, you know, Draco made other stuff. He obviously had Zealots and Dragoons that were a massive part of that final engagement. Big part of the whole game, actually. And without those, the carriers all just die. I mean, the Goliath count was heavy for sure, and you need this to thin that out. And that's exactly what Draco did. Incredible. Incredibly fun play there. IdrA coming through in the clutch with the rage quit today for your Brood War cast. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I think everybody needs a little bit of IdrA rage in their life from time to time. Yeah, 13 minutes. 1337, actually. That was elite game time. 66,000 points for Draco, 51,000 for IdrA. Ended up producing fewer units than the Protoss, killing about the same and losing more, which is never good. In the long run, constructing and killed IdrA, killing 5 buildings, never losing a building, which is not bad, but lost the war. And then resources here, same amount of gas mined, minerals mined, more for Draco and more spent for Draco. Never really got that third base up, so that's just him having a better economy, I think, overall than IdrA did, which I think helped a lot in this game. So I know it's a bit shorter than you're probably expecting, but great, like really, really fun stuff there. So that right there is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and an IdrA game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.